The financial model of the industrial age is officially dead. And that's a good thing. In today's society, if you make smart choices, you can create a lifestyle that's not just free, but fulfilling. So today I'm going to dive into why this is happening and what it potentially means for you. The latest situation of the past few years, remote work has really grown. The global pandemic showed us how unnecessary being in an office every day was to conduct business. With the internet, there's no need to be packed into a city with skyrocketing expenses and a decreasing standard of living and low connectivity to nature. Now, according to FlexJobs survey from 2022, 65% of workers now prefer to work remotely at least some of the time. Global Workplace Analytics estimates that remote work has grown by 173% since 2005, significantly outpacing the rest of the workforce. More stats for you, because this is just a trend that will keep growing. In 2024, Deloitte's Global Workforce Survey predicts that 74% of companies will continue to invest in remote work technologies, with a projected 60% of the workforce working remotely at least some of the time by the end of the decade. So this isn't a trend that's going away, and it's only going to increase. And you might be asking, but why is it? Is it just a case of people wanting to be at home more? That's not the only reason. Think about it in terms of internal versus external transactions. In the old days, say 50 years ago, companies were massive and internal services were a normality. But with what we're living in now, which you could term as the information age, we're increasingly trading these internal services externally. This is what enters the era of consultants and freelancers and really exponential increase in remote work. This is the question that companies are asking, or starting to answer, at least the smart ones anyway. Why hire full-time when they can outsource to an expert? According to Upwork's 2022 Freelance Forward report, 59 million Americans freelanced in 2021, which contributed to over 1.3 trillion to the US economy. This trend is global. The International Labour Organization estimated that freelancers and gig workers made up approximately 43% of the global workforce. This figure highlights the growing importance of freelancing and the global economy. Think about it seriously. Why would a business spend hours trying to master a skill or train a new person to do this skill, and sometimes it takes years at a time to do this, when they can pay someone who's already an expert to do that in a fraction of the time, and they don't have all the extra costs that come along with a full-time employee? And that is why the freelancer community is booming. Small businesses are becoming more powerful and large companies are starting to shrink because the internet makes it easier for them to communicate, monitor work, get things done, outsource, and facilitate all transactions across time zones. Gone are the days where you would need everyone in an office all working towards the same endeavor and needing to be in the same vicinity. This trend is just going to keep going. A Harvard Business Review study from 2021 found that small businesses are more resilient and adaptable than large corporations. They can pivot quickly to market changes, they can offer personalized services larger companies often struggle to match. And this is really crucial, especially becoming a freelance business owner, because when you get autonomy setting up your own freelance business, you realize everything you are doing for your employer to bring them revenue, you could be doing within your own business, and you could be earning a lot more doing it without all the bullshit that comes along with being an employee in a business. I'm living proof of this. I run a one-person business and I use sites like LinkedIn, Fiverr, ChatGPT, and more through the internet. I pay for each of these services on a one-off contract or monthly subscription. 50 years ago, I'd need a large office and a huge team to facilitate all of these things. Today, it's just me, my laptop, an internet connection, and wherever and whenever I feel like working. That's the biggest game changer. The internet was, and probably will continue to be the biggest equalizer. It's made it possible for anyone to start a business, access global markets, and compete with the big guys. If you chuck in AI cutting our working hours drastically through smart assistants, it's cut a lot of things I used to do in half time-wise. This trend is just going to keep growing. There was a quote from Peter Thiel, one of the Silicon Valley investors in various famous companies. He was once quoted as saying that we wanted flying cars, but instead we got 140 characters. The internet and social media are great opportunities to create the life you want. If you've been working in an industry for a few years, you have marketable skills you could sell online. Stop believing you need to work for someone else. You might feel secure in your salary job, but are you building a future? Are you growing? And as history will tell us from the last few years, when those companies come into financial difficulty, how quickly do they get rid of you? Is it not better to have your own business and secure yourself financially? So my question to you is, what is your next move? Are you going to stick with the old ways, or are you ready to embrace the future? If you are ready to embrace the future, I would strongly suggest that you get an online business that utilizes your existing skill sets and allows you to start earning from day one. If you're a regular employee on a regular salary, there's a very high probability that you will never fulfill your dreams. It's pretty certain that you won't, which means you haven't got much to lose by making some changes and actually going after what you want. So my final question is, what is one small step that you could take that would improve your current situation? I hope it's interesting. I'll leave links in the comments to my free ebook on freelancing, which could provide you with some more details on how you could do that if you wanted to. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment on this video. If you've got any questions, reach out.